Alright, my YouTube family, welcome back to the Gaming Brigade. And over the weekend, my friends, some of the devs over at The First Descendant gave a Q&A session at the Tokyo Game Show. So in today's video, we're going to go over some of the questions that were asked and some of the answers that were given. We're going to jump right into the details, and if you happen to enjoy this, do me a favor and hit that like button. It truly helps the channel out. And if you want to stay up to speed on all things The First Descendant, feel free to hit that subscribe or join button as well. Now, starting at the top, the first question was, how has it felt managing the game now that it's been out about 3 months since launch? And you can see they responded by saying, to be honest, the initial result and the intensity of the live service operation has been beyond our expectations. The development team and many people involved in the service have worked really hard. Although I've made efforts to communicate as clearly as possible, I realize we may not have been able to fully reflect on all of the feedback. Recently, we were invited to a developer conference held in Korea, where we presented on the challenges we faced and how we plan to improve. We're continuing to expand the development team and improve process to better meet expectations. Now moving on to the next question, which was, this game has gained quite a bit of attention in Japan. Were you able to anticipate this? Did you notice any differences in reactions between Japanese and international players? The game responds by saying, yes, we have a very large user base in Japan, and it's ranked quite high in terms of player numbers. What sets Japan apart is that it's a country where console gaming is particularly strong, and many players use consumer gaming systems. We are also preparing to support the newly announced PlayStation 5 Pro, and we're excited for everyone to experience that, especially since we plan to officially support it from its release day. Next, my fellow Descendants, we have the question of critiques and what's their approach going to be moving forward. They say, we have received a wide range of feedback and we are taking it seriously. We are reviewing the data alongside the feedback to prioritize what should be addressed first. One of the most common pieces of feedback we received concerns farming. Since the release, there's been a lot of commentary on this, and we're focusing on two main areas. First, we want to make the farming process easier to learn and streamline it, since farming is currently spread across multiple areas. Second, we're working on systems to support players who struggle with the randomness of farming, such as enhancing drop rates. We are also looking into improving critical hit focus balancing and making different builds more viable. For example, we are planning to introduce content that allows for skill-based builds to shine, in addition to critical-based ones. And in my opinion, these are really good balances. I also know a lot of you out there have been looking forward to hearing something directly from the game in regard to farming, drop rates, things like that. It is great to know that they are focusing on those things. Obviously, once I have any more details, I'll bring them to you right away. And as always, questions, comments, or feedback, please let me know as well, and I'll do my best to get back to you as quick as I can. Now, staying on the topic of player feedback, you can see they were asked, many players have expressed that they feel their feedback is being heard. Can you share anything about what's next within the limits of what you can reveal? You can see the devs responded by saying, yes, we've received feedback about the puzzle-based mechanics and penalty-focused battle balances. I want to apologize again for not meeting expectations in this area. Moving forward, we're focusing on delivering the exhilarating battles players want. We are designing new battles with more diverse monsters instead of puzzle-based gimmicks. For example, the update scheduled for October 10th will introduce 400% invasion operation with waves of monsters. This content won't rely on penalties but will instead take advantage of elemental bonuses, making it enjoyable for both advanced and growing characters, and in my opinion, that is a very important detail. Please let me know your thoughts. They continue by saying we're also revising new defense missions to focus on intuitive mechanics. They've also got an update planned for late October that will address feedback on resource defense missions, shortening the playtime and enhancing the monster battle experience. Through Season 1, we've gained a lot of insight into what players want, and we are committed to applying those lessons moving forward. Again, this goes back to something I've said previously. It's going to take the game some time to really kind of, gain its stride, figure out what players are looking for. I'm happy to see these changes as we continue. Now at this point, the devs were given a few questions directly from the community, and the first one had to do with having the ability to take your progression from your standard version of a character and carry it over to the ultimate version. And the game said the development team is exploring ways to transfer part of a standard character progression to the ultimate version, and while they don't have specific details or a timeline as yet, I think it's really good to know that they are thinking about putting that into the game. The other question has to do with harder content. Are there plans to introduce more difficult endgame content? And they said, we have received the feedback that the current top-end content is lacking. In Season 2, we plan to introduce new endgame content, including a harder difficulty for special operations and higher difficulty levels for intercept missions. And once again, my friends, these all seem to be steps in the right direction. Finally, they asked regarding matchmaking. Players have requested the ability to join mid-match. What are your thoughts on that? They say, we currently don't think mid-match joining is necessary due due to the relatively short playtime in our content. However, we understand the concern that this request stems from instances where players leave during a mission. We are considering adjusting the difficulty dynamically if a player leaves mid-mission. Now for me, I don't see this too often. Let me know if you do in the comments section. Finally today, my friends, they ask about the trade system that the game has promised us, and they say before release, we mentioned that we were preparing a trade system. However, right now we are prioritizing stabilizing the service. Instead of implementing a trading economy, we want to focus on improving individual farming environments and also offering better ways for players to spend excess resources. In my opinion, that is definitely the right move. You know, I mean, a lot of people are getting burnt out from the game. You're not picking up things you're looking for, or at the same time, you're getting multiple versions of things you do not need. So making those extra resources you don't need actually have some sort of a value would be a very good thing. Finally, remember, when we get this update on October 10th, we are going to see the introduction of the new trade agent ETA 0. ETA 0 offers a different list of goods each week, consisting of Descendant blueprints, weapon blueprints, materials, inventory expansions, paints, etc., which require standard ETA vouchers or premium ETA vouchers to trade. These vouchers can be obtained by playing the 400% infiltration operation and exchanging surplus weapon blueprints. And you can see at the very bottom they mention that the vendor is going to be available every weekend from Friday to Sunday, but they also mention that is going to be dependent on where you live in the world. Now obviously, once I have the time breakdowns, I will bring them to you right away. Again, we are not going to see that until October 10th. And with all that being said, my friends, I'm going to start to wrap this up. As always, I want to take a moment and thank you all for your incredible support of this channel. Now do me a favor, let me know in the comment section, what are you looking forward to, or really what are you hoping to see in the game soon? For me, it really just boils down to that endgame replayability, but as I've said previously, for a free-to-play game, I am thoroughly enjoying this thing. I've had a lot of fun so far. Again, I'm a casual player, a few hours here, a few hours there, so I never run out of things to look for in the game. But I know at the same time, we need to try to find a balance for players who play on a casual basis, other people who have more time to spend. They obviously want to feel like their time is well spent as well. And I really think if the game continues to listen to what players are saying, we could continue to move in the right direction. We'll see what happens, my friends. Finally today, for those of you that have reached out asking me to put together build videos, farming videos, things like that, the only reason I'm not doing that is because, as I said earlier, I'm not playing the game as much, and I never want to give you the wrong information. You know what I mean? I don't want to tell you to farm in one spot when you should be hitting up another spot, but one thing I can always do and will continue to do here at the channel is always give you a fair and balanced assessment of what's going on in the game, both the good and the bad. I will keep you up to speed on everything happening in the community, my friends. Please let me know of any other questions you may have. Thank you once again for the privilege of your time, and as I mention at the end of every one of these, take care of yourselves, be kind to each other, and we will talk to you soon. Thanks again, everyone.